This is homework for Tuesday, February 9th. So you should have already done the homework in your book on page 37, B 1 through 3, and you're just here to check your work and correct it with a different color pen. So the first thing you needed to do for A and B was find the equation of the table. So first thing I do to find the equation is put in my carets. From -2 to -1 is going up 1. Make sure you note that it's going up. Even though -1 is still a negative number, it's going up. And then from -1 to 1, it's going up 2. So it's growing by 2 every time. Now to find my slope, I do change in y. So y carets divided by change in x carets. So 2 divided by 1, which is 2. So that's my m. And I also need to find my b. So I have to look at my table. Do I already have, when x is 0, what y is? So when x is 0, y is 3. So I already have my y-intercept or my b. So I just put this in the equation. Y equals 2x, because that's my slope, or my unit rate, plus 3, because that's my y-intercept. Okay, b. Again, I'm going to put in my carets. From -6 to -2, it's going up 4. And then from -2 to 2 is up 4. And that continues. Now on the bottom from -4 to -2 is going up 2. Up 2, up 2, up 2. Okay, so I always do change in y divided by change in x, which means my slope is 2 over 4, which is the same as 1/2 or 0.5. Now to find my y-intercept, I look at my table. Do I have, when x is 0, what y is? I do not, which means I need to find it. So when x is 0 is somewhere in between here, so I need to expand my table. I have when x is -2, but I don't have when -1, 0, 1, 2. Okay, when x was 2, y is 0, and when x is -2, y is -2. So now I'm going to use my slope of 1/2 to expand my table. I'm going to shrink this a little bit. Just kidding. Bear with me one moment. I wanted to scoot it over for you, but I can't. Okay, so my slope 1/2 means that every time my x is going up 1, my y is going up 1/2. So -2 plus 1/2 is -1/2. And then -1/2 plus 1/2 is -1. -1 plus 1/2 is -1/2. And then -1/2 plus 1/2 is 0. So I know I did it correctly when I got to 0. So that means my y-intercept when x is 0, y is -1. Okay, so I can go and write my equation. Y equals 1/2 x, because that's my slope, minus 1, because that's my y-intercept. Okay, B2 asks you to write the unit rate of change for A and B. This is kind of a trick question. They want you to realize that the slope is the same thing as the unit rate. When we go through all of our names for slope, we have slope, constant rate of change, unit rate, the m, the coefficient. Okay, so unit rate is the same as saying per 1. Ooh, that was a big line. Per 1. So when we divide it, this is saying that y changes 2 for every 4 changes in x. But when we divide it and reduce it, we're getting the unit rate. So it's 1/2. So for A, our unit rate was 2, because it was for every 2 changes in y, for every one change in x is going up by 2 in the y. But when I divide those to find a unit rate, I get 2. So A, the unit rate is 2, and B, the unit rate was 1/2. Or you could say 0.5. So it's per every one change in x, what is the change in y? Okay, 3 says, does the line represented by this table have a slope that is greater than or less than the equations you found for part 1 and A and B? Okay, so I need to make an equation for this table. From -1 to 0 is going up 1 each time. From 4 to 1 is going down 3. And that pattern continues, so we're going down 3. So I know my slope is negative because I need to do change in y divided by change in x. -3 divided by 1 equals -3. That's my slope. Now my y-intercept when x is 0, and they gave it to me in my table, what is y? So I can write my equation. Y equals -3x plus 1. Okay, so now it's asking, is the slope of -3 greater than or less than the equation you found for A? So let's look at my equation A. The slope was 2, and -3 is less than 2. Okay, so the slope was, this slope here is less than our slope of 2 for A. Now B, the slope was 1/2, and again, -3 is less than 1/2 because it's negative. So my slope for this table is less than the slope for this table of 1/2 and less than the slope of this table of 2. Okay, that's the homework. Your secret message is, what does chari mean? That's from last week. So you should have it at the top of your head, chari. Alright, see you tomorrow.